So, Judgment Day +2, second day after the introduction of the state of emergency in Serbia. At the first glance, it looks like pretty much a normal working day. There are people on the streets, there are cars, sunny day, everything looks nice so far. But let's see some other areas. We are currently at Vozdovac municipality. Driving through the narrow streets. Oh, some Chinese guys. One's with a mask but not really on. I mean, it's on but not at the right place. I see some shops are closed, but this may be a coincidence. Oh, okay. Yeah. For some reason he believes that he has the advantage here. He has mixed up the two crossroads because the one up is the one with his advantage. Never mind. As you can see, the streets are rather bumpy. I see unusually high number of people with masks. The streets are bumpy because here, during recent years, this area has suffered or has undergone significant development from numerous small houses have been demolished and larger buildings were erected instead, up to 5 stories usually, plus the attic. This is one of the ugliest bridges in Belgrade. Actually, it's a viaduct via the highway. This is one of the ugly areas of Belgrade as well, called Marinkova Bara. Ugly neighborhood. It's part of the Dušanovac, which is the name of the larger area. So there are some warehouses here, stuff like that. Ugly looking houses, etc. We'll be going through some very narrow streets and also rather ugly. But this is typical for this neighborhood here. Also, a lot of gypsies are practically living here. But in Belgrade, unlike some other cities in Europe, there is no neighborhood which is considered to be dangerous so that you do not wish to walk through it, neither during the day nor at night. So practically there is, of course, the criminal is present, but not that much this type of criminal that you are not allowed to walk. It's rather the narco mafia, the dealers of cocaine, heroin and other stuff are fighting against each other. And okay, sometimes there are, but not very often. I mean, there are casualties like a collateral damage. I mean, this expression I have first heard during the NATO bombardment of Serbia, with the number of civilian casualties outnumbering the number of soldiers, and the laconic explanation of the NATO officers in charge for public relations was that this was a collateral damage. Very stupid expression, actually. years ago, so it was forgiven mostly, but not forgotten. We are now still in the Vozdovac municipality, but just from the other side of the highway. This is now a bit better neighborhood. This is pretty much a standard, let's say, for Belgrade and in Serbia in general. These kind of neighborhoods, buildings mostly built during the socialist era. These higher buildings and larger ones, and then the whole estates practically built with, quite in a meaningful fashion. For instance, I'll be now visiting one building that belongs to the larger estate, where the people have hot water running all the time, toplovod as we say, or practically there are no home water heaters, boilers. There is a hot water running, the same as heating, of course, etc. This is not an exception. There are neighborhoods built that way. Yeah, this is the heritage of the socialist time. After the 90s, there were not really big, projects of larger scale, except for the couple of ones during the last years, which are really large in scale, especially Belgrade waterfront and some others. But for instance, the big buildings you see up front, these are the ones that I have been talking about, with hot water running, etc. There were several blocks of these buildings with parks in between, etc. So very logically built, let's say. Okay. So as we see, okay, I would say that there is a lesser number of cars compared to the regular situation, but still it pretty much looks like a regular working day. That much for now, and talk to you soon.